When I was still a priest in the church, I had a series of visions that some of you know about. I referred to some of these visions in the book that I have written, the Hay House book, Soul on Fire. And in these visions, I had revealed to me future scenarios, possible, probable futures of our Earth. And these involved, some of them were very foreboding futures. They involved an environmental collapse. They involved the fact that we had, as I was told, that we as a species had been very poor caregivers of our Earth, and we were about to reap a bitter harvest, and that time was running out, so that we could still change things. This was back in 1970, and it was one of the reasons, not the only reason, that I made the leap from the protective canopy of mainstream religion, mainstream Christianity, into the uncharted waters of spirit, and got on my path through that decision, and then later contact with Cherokee Shoshone shaman Rolling Thunder, which got me on my earth path and exploring cross-cultural shamanism. So it was during this series of visions that there was one vision that was particularly puzzling. And that was a vision that came after the visions of the earth changes. That we had passed the year 2000, suddenly we go into a void. I was totally taken by surprise. Suddenly there is absolute nothing. There's darkness, there's formlessness, there is no time. Time has ceased. I'm aware that there's no time. I'm aware that there's no longer history. And I understood, again, by direct knowledge, that we didn't destroy ourselves, we didn't blow ourselves up, but it is the end of life on this earth as we know it. It is the end of a great world cycle, and perhaps something more than that. The end of a cycle for our human species as we know it here on this world. But perhaps the most puzzling thing was that time stopped. I was very much aware that at this point there was no time. I realized that what was coming next depended a lot on the choices, the collective choices of humanity. So this was one of the visions that I had of time stopping, of history coming to an end, and before this process of time being speeded up more and more and more. And I think we're all feeling this now, that time has sped up. What we're experiencing really is the collapse of the structures of time as we know it, of linear time. Linear time is an illusion. If we study the wisdom teachings, this is very clear. This is an illusion, but it is not something that was an accident. We chose this illusion coming into this dimension, the vision of the earth changes, in which I saw a revolt of the elements, and I saw that we were heading for disastrous, to great destruction by volcanic eruptions, by fires, forest fires that could not be put out, great fires. By flooding, by the ocean rising and covering the coastal plains and most of the major cities of the world. I saw storms beyond anything that we had experienced or knew, and earthquakes beyond anything that we had measured so far. And I thought that in this, I had this sense of despair, and I was told that the only way to survive this was to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature, and that those who knew how to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature and had returned to the earth would be able to go through this, and in fact go through it and thrive and prosper, not just survive, but thrive. And I actually saw this being acted out, that these groups of people that were living, working within the rhythms of nature, and they were in a euphoric state because they were in harmony with all things, even with the chaos going out all around them. And I saw this then as a future scenario. The very next day, the very next night, I had another dream, and I saw the earth, and this again is in my book, a very condensed version of these visions. The earth was dying. I was somewhere about a third of the distance to the moon. And I saw these ghostly forms coming up from the earth. And I felt this unspeakable pathos because I knew that our earth was dying. I not only knew it, I felt it. I felt it in every cell of my body. And I was feeling the pathos that everything that we had accomplished, all of our greatest accomplishments in art, in science, in literature, and in spirituality, were being lost. And this voice next to me, I never see who this voice is, but there's a voice that always accompanies my vision. And that voice interprets every vision, usually in a phrase or a sentence, sums it up, the meaning of the vision. And so the voice next to me says, don't be saddened, because these, meaning the ghostly forms leaving, will provide the prototypes for the new earth that has been born. And I looked and saw side by side was a new earth that was bathed in golden light, that was purified and cleansed, and it was like a newborn baby, and I wanted to hold on to it. I wanted to just embrace it. It was I not only saw it visually, but I could feel this and feel the joy, just like the joy of a child that's been born. And I was told that this was the new earth that we would inherit. And this gives us great hope, doesn't it? And it means that as you're awakening, that your ability to affect things is not just a little more or a lot more than it was before, and a lot more than people around you. It's quantum. There's a quantum difference when you activate your light body. To me, this gives great hope for us that as we awaken, as we activate, we no longer have excuse. I can't do anything to make a difference. You can. You can do enormous things to make a difference. So here we are talking about 2012 and the coming changes, and perhaps something that could have happened, like the fulfillment of Casey's predictions of the Earth changes, did not happen. We got into the new millennium, and the consciousness revelation is still going on. And so we also know that probably it is the activation, the awakening of a certain critical mass of people, not only in our country but all over the world, that has given us a chance to move on and to bring healing and bring light to our earth. And this is why we're here.